Hey there, guys. Welcome to the channel. So Trump might have actually caught a break in Georgia. It seems like things could actually wrap up a lot sooner than we expected, and the case might either get taken away from the DA by the federal government or possibly get dropped altogether. But before we get into that, guys, thanks so much to everyone that's been subscribing and commenting. We really, really appreciate the support. And if you haven't already, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the Common Sense Garage. Every time you do, a leftist loses their wings. So I was watching CNN, believe it or not, and Ellie Honig, their legal analyst, he was on. Now, obviously, Honig is not exactly Trump's biggest fan, okay? He had his fair share of criticisms about the former president many, many, many times. But even he and Christie, another not-so-great fan, who I saw talking about it, seemed to think that the DA in this Georgia case, that the case might actually be more about the DA, Fanny Willis, wanting to make a statement rather than anything real or anything substantial. And a lot of the charges against Trump have already been covered federally. So people are wondering, why go through it all again in Georgia? And because of this, guess what? There's a good chance the case might actually get dropped, which is pretty interesting. And, we'll have to see what motions get filed and how the judge reacts, which is another interesting thing. So I guess this guy's only been a judge for 6 months, which is hilarious because the left is totally freaking out, losing their mind about the inexperience of the judge in Florida. But they're dead silent on this one, which is interesting. Let me know in the comments why you think that is. And let's see what Honig has got to say.
That. The other big issue, and we just said this word, removal. Get ready for a lot of talk about removal. Mark Meadows is already trying to do this. Donald Trump will try to follow. In a nutshell, what this means is if a federal official gets charged with a state crime that relates to that federal official's official job duties, you can get the case moved.
Like being president or chief of staff?
Right. Within the legitimate scope of those jobs, important qualification, you can get the case moved over to federal court and then potentially dismissed. So these are really important motions. Mark Meadows has already done this. Trump is sure to follow.
So you can't really try someone for the same crime in both the state and federal courts, especially the things that Trump's involved in. And that's exactly what Trump's legal team seems to be pointing out here. What it looks like is that a bunch of these local DAs, they just want their 15 minutes of fame. They're hoping to climb the ladder by targeting Trump. And the real concern, if Trump wins another election, he could pardon himself on federal charges, but not on the state level. Nothing he can do about it. And if found guilty in a state trial, there's no get out of jail free card for him. Apparently in Georgia, the governor can't even pardon you unless a serious portion of your sentence is already served, which is pretty wild. I've never heard of that. So also in this case, Mark Meadows, he's actually trying to shift his portion of this Georgia case over to federal court. And Trump's obviously on board with that too. So, just imagine how DA Fanny Willis would actually feel if this case gets taken away. I'm sure she's got dreams of following in the footsteps of Stacy Abrams and aiming for the governor's seat, except for the part where Abrams actually didn't become governor. But, she might have thought, this Fanny Willis might have thought, get Trump and the sky is the limit for my career. But it's starting to look like that grand plan is probably a bust. And if it is, she's got no one to blame but herself. If she just played it by the book, things might have turned out differently. Anyway, guys, that's just my take. Let me know yours in the comments. If you haven't already, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Most importantly, share the channel. We'll see you in the next one.